the starting point for this is to think about, if we just put you without any muscles, without anything, any skin or any connective tissue, with just your bones, and we just held you up by by your skull and let go, how gravity would just crush all your bones. So it would close the space, and gravity would dominate and bring your skeleton from your head down towards your feet and towards the floor. So with no muscle or connective tissue on your body, that's the force of gravity is too great for your bones. So with regards to back pain, if there is no muscle at all, just in a make-believe world, then your bones would just all collapse down on one another, and that would add a lot of pressure. And really, it's not to that extent, but that's what's happening with back pain. Is your discs are slowly falling because gravity is pulling them too hard, and we find that if you can load the muscles instead, that will help take the pressure off your discs. All right. So there's a lot of different conditions. If you had an MRI or an X-ray, that would show different levels of damage or injury in your back. So I'll just give you kind of a overview, and just bear with me, and we'll get to the good stuff very soon. So these are your lumbar discs here, and they're usually the culprits for back pain. And what's happening is that these spaces in the middle here, like these spaces, that's where the disc is. So I think I can show you that right here. Where is it? Yeah. So I'm going to show you sideways. So these are your discs, right? So I'm sure that this is L2, L3. So this disc is like a wedge, like a cushion that's helping keep the space between the actual vertebra, which is this, right? So the disc is the important point, and that's usually what contributes to back injuries and back pain. So if those discs get compressed or they bulge out a little bit, like they sag, if there's too much downward pressure, then that can cause the pain by touching the nerve, and I'll get into that a bit more later on. All right. So I'll just show you in these discs here which one's which, so you can if you know what your injury is, you might be able to start feeling more pain there. So this is L1, right? And then the space above that, the disc that belongs in that space is called T12/L1. That's the disc, but the vertebra itself is called L1, which I've just highlighted there. And then L2, obviously, L3, L4. So L4 is a big deal. So above and below L4, that's a very common problem, probably the most common. So L4, L5, which is just below the one that's highlighted right now, that's probably the biggest problem for most people, and it just takes a lot of load there. All right, so, and then that's L5, sorry, at the bottom there. All right, and I think the best way to explain this to you is that as I already said, that your muscles are without any muscles, then your discs are all going to compress and collapse. So the network of muscles is so intricate, and I'll just show you kind of the layers of muscle here, just to give you again a bit of visualization of what's happening. So this is just going from inside out. So here we go. Adding layers, and all these layers are part of maintaining the space for your lower back.